Hello, welcome to Pop Along RC, the RC car channel dedicated to RC car racing, and today we are talking short course trucks. Now, if you seen my recent video where I visited Millend, I took out my new PR Racing short course truck for the first time. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how it got on and what my first impressions are of this 1/10 four-wheel drive short course truck. So, to start with, let's talk about the track. Millend is a great track, Astro all round. Now, it did start out as a dirt track, but I'll tell you what, with the weather being wet, it definitely helped that they had Astro. So I stuck with my 540 motors, and do you know what? More than enough speed. I think pace-wise with the car, it was absolutely fantastic. Where I came up a little bit short on the day was with grip. That's because I actually only had one set of wheels and one set of tyres with the truck, because it's the first outing. I didn't really know what I needed, whereas everyone was running the Schumacher spirals. I was running different set of tyres, which sort of kind of lacked grip. Did mean though, at the end of the long straight, I was able to sort of drift, and it just meant I couldn't be as aggressive coming out of the turns because I just didn't have the grip and the drive. In terms of the car's performance though, once I got used to the level of grip and I kind of found my limits, I was able to stick in some pretty consistent laps. Pace wise, I was definitely on for being the second fastest truck on the day. Unfortunately for me, my final didn't go quite to plan. But the car in front of me right now is the car that eventually came second on the day. And as you can see, I've caught up there. I have got a little bit of pace. I've got past on the track, but we were swapping places because we were very evenly matched. And in fact, there was four of us that were quite evenly matched on the track. The other three drivers all running the Techno. And as you can see here, there is a little bit of water on the chassis where the track was really quite wet. In terms of changes that I want to make to the car, I don't really want to change the setup too much. In terms of the springs and things like that, I think the car felt really planted, really nice. I think the biggest change I can make would be for the tyres for the right conditions. So I'm looking into that. However, I have a little bit of a dilemma. So the idea was I was going to get this car ready to run at the BRCA Truck Nationals. And looking at the rules, I think 296 is the track width of this car. Now, if I run the wheels that come in the kit, it literally sits at 296, but there's no room forever. So if I bump in a little bit of toe out, it's actually going to take the width of the car a little bit wider. So offset wise, any suggestions? What wheels could I run that are gonna make the front a little bit narrower than it already is? So at the moment it's sitting right on the sort of upper limits for width, and I want to make the front end of the car a little bit narrower. I've got a little bit more room to play with at the back. I think the back of the car is measuring a little bit shorter than the front, so I could probably stick with the same wheels that I've got at the rear. It's just the fronts that I need to change. So yeah, pop it in the comments down below. What wheels should I get for this? And also, what tyres would you recommend? What are the go-to tyres for the Nationals? Now, I believe they've got some control tyres, but which ones should I opt for, or do I need to buy all of the tyres that are options? Anyway, back to the racing. As you can see here, I'm doing all right around the track. The car had pretty good pace down the straight. Actually, there was only one jump on the track, but it seemed to sort of land and float over the jump quite nicely. What was also suggested to me on the day is when it comes to running at the bigger tracks and on the bigger jumps, I need to avoid the parachuting, which means I'm going to need to cut the vents that are in the shell. So the shell that I've got on this car has got spaces where vents can be cut out. So I am actually going to cut those out in preparation for bigger jumps on bigger tracks. But in terms of sort of change of direction, balance of the car, it felt really, really nice. I just wasn't able to really push it. On this track in particular, the different Astros have different levels of grip. This darker green that we've just gone over in the corner there is really quite slippery and really does let the rear end go. Whereas, so as you come around here, that's where it gets quite slippery on that dark section over the back. Whereas on this section here, it's a slightly longer pile of Astro and the grip was a lot better. And actually by the end of the day, on that hairpin, I was starting to get a little bit of grip roll where I was really trying to throw it into the turn. Whereas at the end of the straight, I was throwing it in and the car was just drifting, as you can see again there, drifting round that in straight. I was actually turning in probably about 2 meters before the apex and just letting it drift and run deep. But amazing fun running the short course trucks. Now, obviously, I'm an advocate for getting more beginners into racing, and I think that actually short course truck racing is a great entry level, beginner friendly race class. And what I'm hoping to do is get some more ready to run short course trucks, get them up at the track and have a play, get more people involved, get more people using short course trucks. They don't have to be pro spec, because actually my team associated SC10 Pro 4 went around this track really quite nicely. Do you know what? Actually, while we're talking about short course trucks, who still runs short course trucks? What tracks around the country can I rock up to with my short course trucks and have a good day's racing? I know Coventry has got a good following of truck racers, but where else in the UK can we go? Obviously, we've got a couple of really good outdoor tracks near us, but they don't all offer the opportunity to run a short course truck. So, yeah, just put it in the comments down below. Where can we go? Where can we go racing? I'm hoping that in the summer, Mark and I are going to get back out doing our grassroots stuff. Some of our sort of back to basics, a few tyres out on the grass and racing some short course trucks in addition to the journey into the BRCA Nationals, which I'm hoping to achieve. But yeah, just looking at the car going around now, kind of trying to stay out of trouble, waiting for people around me to make mistakes and sort of zigzagging my way through the traffic. It was a real good fun day of racing, and that's the beauty about these cars. It's quite evenly matched, and you can have a lot of fun. They're a little bit more durable in the sense that you can sort of bash shells, and rubbing is racing, as they say. It just makes for a super fun day out, fun racing, and I've definitely had a smile on my face most of the day. So this summer I am going to be heading down to Millend quite a lot, I think, because I just really enjoy this style of racing. But if there are other clubs in the UK that I could pop along to, please pop it in the comments down below and I will do my best to venture a little further afield. Anyway, until the next time, like, subscribe, hit the old ding dong bell, and we'll see you again soon.